It's Pharma, and this is my first impressions for Coral Island. We're going to start with the menu, or like the settings, so there's not really much I can find here to criticize or critique. Everything is there, for the most part. The only thing is, or I guess the biggest thing, is I don't seem to be able to rebind my keys. I'm assuming and hoping that this would be something that is added later, as right now the game is in early access. Another nice thing that I see is they do have an accessibility tab. I hope that this will be expanded on. Right now, nothing is available. Another good thing that I wanted to point out was I do appreciate the footsteps volume, especially since I do think that the base footstep volume is a little loud. I've gotten used to it. I didn't change it. I wanted to see how loud they were. Never got around to changing it, and I've sort of gotten used to it, but initially it was fairly loud when I got in. From there, we'll just go ahead. We're going to play through a day. Kind of point things out as we go along. It is a... It's basically Stardew Valley, but on an island and more island-themed, I guess is what you would say. Oh, I forgot. This is actually maybe a good day. There's a festival running outside. I do frequently, for some reason, it's right-click to advance the dialogue, left-click to select things in dialogue. So I do end up making mistakes with that a lot. And you can go around a bit before the festival. So, I mean, it is basically exactly Stardew Valley. I don't know if I can zoom out. If I do this, it doesn't really show me, but there are a lot of things where it's just like, okay. And I will caveat this with, I don't know anything about like the Kickstarter or anything. I just saw this come up and I was like, oh, I like Stardew Valley. This should be interesting, fun to play. Make a little video on it. But when I started, so I don't know like how much they wear like the Stardew Valley on their sleeve. If they're like, hey, we're just making Stardew Valley, but like better. Which I do actually so far think that it hits that. I think that for me personally, it hits Stardew Valley, but better. But yeah, it's like the water's right here. There is a pond, but it's... If we look at the map, the pond is actually on the left side instead of centered. I don't know if they're going to be adding options to customize like your starting farm. And then obviously you've got the shipping bin. Now I did play Harvest Moon growing up. So I don't know if that was a thing. I don't know if that was a Stardew Valley introduction to the genre of farming. I don't want to say farming sims, but sort of like farming, whatever this genre of game is. I do think so. I don't know if there's really an off track to get here, but the fucking animals in this are so much cuter. And I don't blame Stardew Valley for, like, Stardew Valley is limited by what it is. I don't know how much, because I know this is developed in Unity. I don't know how much is, like, based off of assets that may already exist. So I don't know if there's, like, a limited amount of work that was put to make these things look nicer. I don't know if I've met this person yet. Looks like I've probably talked to them. Yeah, I don't know if there's much else to really say about that. We'll go hang out. I'm trying to think of like what the nice features that they've added are. Because I know that I've like pointed out a few in my time playing it, but I do think the trash is weird. But I also get that it seems to heavily be involved in the story since the main like antagonistic force is the pufferfish company, which is trying to drill for oil. Oh, I do like the addition. Now I don't play a lot of Animal Crossing, and by a lot I mean any Animal Crossing. But I know that catching bugs, or at least I highly believe that catching bugs is a part of it. I do like that you can catch those, have them in display at the museum. It seems like the fish can also be displayed, but I haven't done any fishing yet. Oh. I do think that the art style makes it, I don't know, and this is something where I'll caveat with, I've played a lot of Stardew Valley, so I don't know if my lack of interest in the story comes down to just how much I've played it, and I view it all very mechanically, very robotically. When I'm having conversations, I don't actually like give a shit what the characters are saying. I'm just like, all right, what's the item you like? Where do you show up? Like, etc. Whereas this is all new to me, so the dialogue and things with the characters, it feels better so far. But I don't know how much of that is art style, where it's something that's 3D and not 2D. Well, it's not like 2D pixel art versus this is 3D. Not necessarily real, obviously, but it may allow for some like more emotional immersion. So I'm open to like saying the writing is not actually better, and so that may vary person to person. But for me, it does a lot. I find the characters more alive. I will say I do feel bad skipping through most of the dialogue, because I don't want to sit here in silence reading it, and I'm not quite to the point where I have a good reading voice. Oh, I forgot this is actually one of the quests. I'm trying to remember where the little event for the day is. I assumed it was probably on the beach, but we are... Oh yeah, and this is the diving. I should have actually read this because I wasn't really thinking about it when we showed up here. I thought it was just like a story thing. I guess it's all a story thing. But it's diving. I guess that is something we should probably tackle. Link says the diving suit is yours to keep under one condition. You heal sick coral by activating solar orbs, whatever that means. Alright. There's diving, so we'll go ahead and give that a go. I'm really trying to understand what are the things that, like... And we'll dive for a little bit. I think that it said 9 to noon. We don't have too much time. Okay. Activate solar orbs. Okay, so I still break down trash the same way. It is cool. I like this. It adds like another dimension to playing the game. Okay, so as I break apart trash, it looks like I can find solar orbs. Okay. Well. Okay. I don't know what's going on here, but... I have zero clue what's going on. Some crazy underwater shit. Okay, well, that's magical, and it helps heal the coral, so we appreciate that. Alright, let's see. Hopefully I haven't missed the party. Can I see where it is? Okay, I feel like it's probably up this way. I'm gonna dash my way over. to feel terrible. I don't... Where? I have a calendar in here? Okay. I'm not gonna concern myself with that. Okay. So the diving's okay. What else did we have to look at? I do like the map. It's a lot more... There's a lot more going on, a lot more to do, and a lot more areas you can sort of like easily walk to. Can go do a little mining, kind of show that off. Again, it's all very much the same as Stardew Valley. It's just some of the things I feel are a little nicer. Like, I think specifically combat right now, and I know they have on the roadmap like a combat overhaul, but even the base level combat that's in this right now is significantly improved over what was in Stardew Valley. Or at least I guess it feels more improved. I'm starting to think through it and I'm like, is it though? Like, you go in, you get hit by damage, and we'll see. Like, I've only, you know, it's got slimes. Oh, inventory full. That's fine. We'll do some mining, but like without any intention to actually bring resources back, just to show off the mechanics of it. I do now realize I should have created a new character so I could show off the character creations. Like, it's very nice. Even in its current form, there's a lot of good options. It also doesn't, if I recall correctly, it doesn't lock you into deciding one gender. It asks body type, which I appreciate. So, and then this is where it's like, because you take damage from hitting it, and the attacks don't really let you not hit it. Unless you're, like, you can attack through rocks. So it's very hard, because there's no, at least right now, I haven't really found a way to not take damage when attacking. Hasn't really been an issue. I'm not taking, oh my god. I'm not really taking enough damage to the point that it's depleting before my energy is. I do also think the ideas expressed in the game, when it's like the characters talking, they seem a lot more realistic than those in Stardew Valley, a lot more believable, which I think also makes me, or allows me to get more invested in the stories of, excuse me, of characters. Let's put our bugs away in our bug chest. I think this is the bug chest, or the chest I was using as my bug chest. And again, I went into this with zero idea of what I was getting into, and one thing I thought was really funny was when I first started hitting the tree, I just naturally defaulted to counting how many times it takes me to hit these, and it's 12 to knock down the tree, 6 for the stump, and I think unless I'm crazy, I think in Stardew Valley it was 12 and 4. So that was one thing that I thought was funny, or like odd. I don't know why it would be one less if you're going to take the number to chop down the tree. But I could also be, my memory is not good enough that I would be confident saying that that is accurate. Now that I bring that up, though, I am remembering that there was another thing that I thought was really nice, or I guess two things that are really nice. So the introduction to building house upgrades is a lot nicer. You do it as part of the first sort of quest, I think, or if not the first, it's one of the first 2 or 3, where you basically have to collect wood and stone and then go to the carpenters. So it just feels a lot. The tutorial for like giving you that experience is a lot more naturally built into it. It's a lot more approachable. That's how you end up creating your house. The other thing is the first backpack that gets you to 20 slots, I believe, is only 500 gold, and you start with 300 or 500 coral coins or whatever they're called, instead of 2,000, I believe it was. It may have only been 1,000, but it was something ridiculously high that was not easily achievable. Whereas within like an in-game week of days, you could get the 500 to get the tier 2 backpack, which made foraging, mining, I don't know if I was mining at a week into it, but foraging especially, and your plants are starting to come out, so it makes it a lot easier to do. Yeah, overall, I don't think I have anything that's really concerning about the game. I am very excited to see it continue to go through early access. There are some things, specifically re-keybinding things, that have been frustrating because I've been playing on one of like the half keypads, and I'm starting to get used to how those are laid out, but they don't have all the keys that a normal keyboard has. And so I've rebound keys, like my map I like to put on tilde now instead of on M. I don't know if that, like, and right now obviously I can't do that. Press M, there's the map. Press tilde, I don't get anything. And then also I'm used to having, I think it's 1 through 6, so I won't have 7, 8, 9, or 0. And so I rebind my keys to some macro keys that are on the side. And so not having that ability to rebind those is a little frustrating, but again, it is early access, and it is on the smaller side of complaints, because right now, until I find... Well, right now I switched to a keyboard because I like the spacing of the keys between them more than the half keyboard. But I do plan on going back for certain games, specifically single-player games. But yeah, I'll probably try to make another video at some point on Coral Island, the progress that's been made. But so far, I'm very happy with it. I'll probably continue to play it myself, and maybe I'll make a deeper dive video at some point in the future once I get a better understanding of, you know, the content that is there, content that may be missing, and what improvements I'd like to see made.